you later. And greetings, beloved entities. So we have an opportunity here to discuss what's going on in your lives, in the world, in the society, in all of the issues that are troubling you. And mostly what we want to give to you in this gathering is the encouragement to be at peace with yourself, your world, your society, and to be in joy. Make it a point to be in joy in whatever way you are able to bring that about in your life. Be in joy in your life on a daily basis. Put it in your calendars, in your schedules, every single day. Take a moment to feel joy, because that feeling that you can and are absolutely able to generate within you, you can do it by recalling something that made you so very happy, recalling the love that you feel for whatever or whomever you feel love for. That will fill your body with a sense of joy. And that joy is a vibration that will impact your entire being and allow you more creativity, productivity, exhilaration, excitement, and ability to solve problems. That is the secret. It is a simple, simple secret. And we invite you to begin to employ it and incorporate it into your daily life, so that you put on your calendar and your schedule every day at around 10 o'clock or 2 o'clock in the daytime to remember to feel joy, because that's what's going to make the difference. That joy that you feel not only impacts your own physicality, not only impacts your own ability to proceed with the daily tasks of your life, but it actually touches everybody you come in contact with in the course of that day, because it is a vibration. And vibrations are non-physical and are able to be, shall we say, emitted and disseminated outside your physicality into the aura and the arena around you. So that as you are leaving your abode for an errand or an appointment or whatever, as you open the door to go out, remind yourself, let me generate the joy I am within the body I am, to be that thing as I go into my day, into my world, into my automobile, into my grocery store. Utilize this mantra and allow it to transform your lives in such a way that you will feel as if you are living a miracle, because you will be. There is really no as if about it. It is, in fact, what is. You will be living the miracle of life, of vibration, of vibratory brilliance, and we can't find the words in your language to describe the effect that this practice will grant unto your entire being. And if you are invested in pain and sorrow, let yourself know that, and let yourself ask yourself, what is it about pain and sorrow, disappointment, and all of those unpleasant feelings, lack of self-worth, all of that sort of thing? What is it about that that serves me? What do I get out of living in pain and sorrow? What do I get out of being unhappy? How does that contribute to what I perceive myself to be as a human being? And then when you answer the question, then ask yourself afterwards, would I prefer something else? would I prefer to perhaps experiment with the idea of joy, with the idea of peace in my life, in my being, with the idea of contentment and openness to the brilliance of life that is available to me if I would only proclaim my desire for it. Proclaim your desire to be at peace in your life. Proclaim your desire to experience joy. Proclaim your desire to remember love and what that felt like. Proclaim your desire to have it again, and command from the Lord God of your being to bring it to you, to bring to you all that you need to experience life as you prefer it to be. The only cautionary note we would put into there is that if you say the words, I command from the Lord God of my being to bring joy into my life, and yet everything within you is saying, not possible, can't have it, don't know what it is, it won't happen. You've got to generate within you the physical experience of joy, of love. You've got to remember something, or go out and find, experience something that puts a little giggle in all the cells of your being. And recall that, and remember that, and call it forth constantly in order to reorient your being to joy, to love, to peace, to contentment, to allowing yourself the experience physically of these things. To understand this is so important, and it is the thing that will transform not only your life, but the lives of others out there, because that vibratory effect will emanate out of you and disperse itself into your community. And in that way, you will serve the purpose of becoming the agent of change in your world. Now, the caution is that you have got to be very, very aware of when the contradictory emotion, the contradictory thought, the opposite of what you are proclaiming you want, is more available to you because it is more experienced by you, is more assumed by you to be the norm for you. So it is again a challenge of awareness, of presence in your being that allows you to be aware and cognizant of all of the things that go on within you that dictate the shape of your life, moment to moment, day to day. Take charge of your life by commanding forth the vibration that you know is available to you and that you know you prefer. Command forth the ability to transform all the negativity in your life into something joyous, contented, accepting. Open yourself to the will of heaven, because the will of heaven is for you to be in joy, because that is how the all that is, the source from which we all come, manages to grow and expand and become more, and thereby be able to give more. You do that on the personal, individual level, and the same thing happens all around you. You want to affect the nature, the attitude of your community? Look at your own. Look at what you feel, the disgust, the anguish, the hurt, the pain, the despair. Whenever you feel it, look at what you are feeling and know that that is what you are sending out. Choose instead to send love and joy. The love of a puppy or a child, the love of a great mate, the love of a good friend, the love of the Lord God. Choose love whenever possible. And it's always possible. But you are human entities living in third dimension in physicality. And so some of the limitations that you have gotten so very accustomed to will be more difficult to transform, because it will be required for you to become much more astutely aware of how you feel and what you are thinking. Your thinking, just like your feelings, is a vibration. Your thinking is electricity. And you know that electricity travels unseen through all sorts of obstacles to get to where it is needed. So turn yourselves on and emit the light of love and peace and joy. That is our message to you for this year. Make it the message to yourselves for this year, for your life, but certainly day to day. Take the message, imbibe it, contemplate it, find within you what you need to do to transform your own negativity into peace and joy and love, that you can then go into your world and disseminate it wordlessly, soundlessly, just by the energy of what it is. So, what do you think? You can unmute yourselves all and tell us what you think about that and what your experience of it is. Nobody?
This is Joan, and I love that idea, and making it so that we remember it daily is very important. So I'm going to write that in my calendar every day.
Excellent. Excellent. You could put it also on a little post-it note on your bathroom mirror so that you see it first thing in the morning. And as you are looking at it first thing in the morning, you are also looking in the mirror at your own visage and saying unto that visage, "Blessed be I, and all that I am, so be it." We give you this little mantra every single time we speak to you because it is so powerful and so capable of transforming so much. Who else?
Will we see a change in all the violence that we're experiencing in our world now? And what did we want to learn by attracting all of this?
It's not so much that you wanted to learn something by attracting all of it. It is more the idea that when peace and joy and love begin to rear their glorious heads into a general societal experience, the opposite of it struggles even harder to put it down. And that has been observable throughout history, and you can look it up and check it out for yourselves. So it is merely a reaction to the groundswell of some sort of behavior. The absolute opposite will show up to challenge you and to try and prevent growth. The opposite in this case, and in most cases, is resistance to growth and expansion. The universe is always growing and expanding, but individual human beings aren't aware of it. It shows up in movements such as have occurred over multiple sectors of society over the last 10 years, especially in your society. And when those movements for equality, for freedom, for peace and joy and love, for equitable treatment of all sorts of people, for the belief that everybody is entitled to a life of joy and peace and love, the absolute opposite, that is in such fear of that level of freedom, will rise up as well and try to quell all of those efforts. That is what happens. The violence in the last 5 years, especially, well, the last 2 years especially, is mostly due to the fact that people are not engaged in their own lives. And they are not wise enough to recognize that what is lacking in their lives in order to make a change and fix it. So on the most simplistic level, people aren't occupied. They're not working. They don't have jobs. They don't have careers. They don't think they want them. But for most of the population, being idle, you know the old phrase from your religious people, the idle hands are the devil's workshop. Idleness is very detrimental to a healthy society. And the fact that so many people have chosen or are unable to find work that they want to do leaves them frustrated, feeling inadequate, feeling worthless, feeling angry, and they don't know what to do with those emotions. And so the more people like you can spread the energy of peace and love, compassion, joy, the more you will be able to mitigate the violence, the frustration, the anger. People are angry because they feel powerless to affect their lives, to effect their lives. And until systems are put in place, and that's what it will take, is systems for people who have imagination, who have intelligence, who have a persistent craving to understand all, will not need this sort of intervention. People who have never been taught that it's safe and okay to think for themselves will require systems to be put in place that will handle the anger and the frustration. There are many options out there for these systems, and they will be explored, and there will be, shall we say, otherworldly sorts of interventions on a very subtle, energetic level to begin to influence policymakers toward creating these systems. It will take a while. It will take at least another 2 years, maybe 3, for the effect of what is happening right now to be felt. But know and have confidence in the fact that otherworldly, non-physical energies, influencers in your newest terminology, are working very assiduously to create the atmosphere and the energetic impact necessary to influence and affect the thinking of the people who will make policy. Does that help at all?
Absolutely. Very well stated. Thank you.
Indeed. One of the things that generates that sense of joy, you understand, that sense of love and compassion, is when you can be in an environment of laughter and pleasure and not at all connected to a job of any sort, where it's freedom. You see, most of you grew up in a society from even if you were immigrants, the basic tenets of American society is productivity. So that for many, 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 many people, when you are not being productive, there's something wrong. Oh my gosh, what's wrong with me? I'm not being productive. I'm not getting this done or that done. I haven't made those phone calls I need to make. Oh my goodness. Try thinking the thought, productivity has its place, but it is not the be all and end all of life. But you are raised with that idea that if you're not being productive, you're not being useful, you're not being acceptable. So for those of you it applies to, take heart. Productivity is necessary. Of course it is. You have things you've got to do to live your life, to do your work, to serve the people you choose to serve. Doesn't mean that when you're not being productive, you're not being a good person. So rethink that idea. Ask yourself, is that absolutely the truth for me everywhere in my life? And see what answers pop in. We give you again the practice of the breath exercise where you sit and you just breathe and all you pay attention to is the breath, the sensation of the breath coming into the body and going out of the body. And you do that for 2 or 3 or 5 minutes, and then you can ask a question. Is that true for me? What do I need to do to feel this way? And then you breathe another couple of breaths and you see what pops into conscious awareness. And that is your answer for that particular moment. And you go and do it, whatever pops into your head. It's a brilliant, effective, productive little practice that will also go a long way to transforming your life, as long as you let yourself believe the wisdom, the truth, and the magic of the practice and what it yields. All right, so do that. It is learning to focus and sharpen the mind in the ability to focus so that you can begin to manifest all that you want in your life. But you've got to start small. So the next time you sit to meditate, try starting your meditation with 3 minutes of breathing and focusing just on the breath. And then go on to mantra. If you want to continue, go on to mantra. Peace I am, compassion I am, joy I am, peace I am, compassion I am, joy I am. Let that be your mantra, and you chant it to yourself over and over and over. That will give your mind something to latch onto in a way that will free up some space for the creativity to come through and the answers to the questions ultimately. Perhaps we have arrived at the conclusion of our little session together. We love interacting with you. We love bringing you wisdom and assistance and guidance in your personal lives and in the general life of our society. And we would love the opportunity to do it as a group because there is so much power in a group energy. For now, we bless you, bless you, bless you, and encourage you to utilize all that we have dialogued today and start straight away, everybody, and then perhaps even share what you get out of it with each other. So be it. Bless you. Bless you.